Hello, Taurus. Welcome to my Body and Heart Tarot Therapy. I'm here to do the reading for the month of October 2019 for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. It's going to be a general reading for, I already mentioned, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. And if it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, then it's just not your reading. Page of Cups is your current energy. So yeah, if it does not resonate, don't try to fit it in. It's just not your reading, all right? Use your own intuition to know what messages apply to you and the way they apply to you in your story, and let the rest go. All right, my darlings. So let's see what's going on in October 2019 for my dear Taurus. Hope you're well. Okay, seems there's more than one. Oh, no, it's just the star as your challenge. Okay. Now let's see what's your focus. I have two cards as focus, the Knight of Wands and the Eight of Wands. These are both Sagittarius energies. That's interesting. Taurus. All right, now let's see what's the advice for you, my dear. It's the Eight of Pentacles. I'm taking these two together because they came out together. All right, so the Eight of Pentacles is your advice, and let's see what's your future energy. Where is this taking you, my dear? The Chariot. Beautiful. I like the Chariot. In bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Swords as your underlying energy. I'll just put it right here. Sorry again for the light. It's not great. I know this is how it happens when I do the readings at night. I don't seem to have a good setting. But it is what it is. And I hope you can see the cards. Alright, I'm going to clarify these cards before I actually go into what's going on in here, the energies. But you know, having the Five, okay, you have the World as your current energy along with the Page of Cups. Okay. Shit. Sorry. There's a lot of cards here. Okay, so these all seem to come along with your challenge with the Star. So that's interesting because they seem to... Yeah, let's get into this later. Seems that you're having challenging... You find it challenging to keep hope and to bring healing into certain areas of your life. Okay, let's see what's your focus. Why is this your focus here? Okay. Now, seriously, this is also Sagittarius energy. These three cards are all Sagittarius energy. So somehow, maybe you have your focus, maybe you have your eye on a Sagittarius, or I don't really know what's going on. There are also other energy, like this is Aquarius, this is Scorpio. That's not... it's just weird that this whole pile as your focus is Sagittarius energy. Okay, then you have the High Priestess with the Eight of Pentacles as your advice. And you have the Tower with the Chariot as your future energy. And to go along with your theme, we have the Seven of Cups with the Five of Swords. All right, let's start with this. Let's start with the theme. Do you see this? Let me see if I can do something about this. No, not any, didn't do any good. This doesn't seem to be helping, but let's try it like this. Okay, maybe it's better. Okay, so we have this Five of Swords with the Seven of Cups. This Five of Swords talks about like choose your battles. This these are like hard won victories that come at a cost. But it's also very like an energy of conflict, an energy of uh, mm, power hungry, really, when you know you win at the expense of other. You bring yourself up by putting someone else down. It's conflict. And it can be outer conflict with people outside of yourself or someone in your life, but can also be inner conflict. So it's usually both. It's never just one. It happens many times that we have a certain inner conflict between two aspects of ourselves, and it's pretty intense. It's also, this is energy of the mind, right? It's so it's the conflict of the maybe, wait, one, two, three, four. Okay. Yeah, it's the mind. It's mind energy. There's always a duality of in the cards. For example, if we have two, number two talks about the emotional realm. Number one talks about the physical realm. Number three talks about the mental realm. Number four talks about the spiritual. And then number five is again, it's like going up and down like a sinusoidal curve. Yes. So yeah, sometimes I forget exactly where do they fit, and I think five, it's mental and mental. So it's all in your mind. You know, you have two aspects of yourself that you are judging each other. I don't know what example to give you. Let's say that you will have some work to do and you're procrastinating, and there's that part of you that says like, dude, we really need to get this work done. There's going to be trouble if we don't. We're going to get in serious trouble. And the other part of you is like, I'm not getting out of here. I'm not getting up. I'm not going to do it. And it becomes a huge conflict. And the one that's like the part of you that wants to get the work done, it starts putting like a huge amount of pressure on the other side that just resists more and more, and so on and so on and so on. And there's always like huge inner fights. um yeah, the seven of cups here. The seven of cups talks a lot about the taking stock of your emotions, like having the moment of really feeling through, starting understanding like what is the emotional baggage that you're carrying, like what are the emotions that you've been holding for a long time, let's say. And also like looking a little bit like what is it that you're fantasizing about. What do you really want? Seven of Cups is a very dreamy energy. It's like having all these choices in front of us and not really know what to go for. And, having also that fear, do I really need to taste from each and every one of these cups to see what if I get the poisoned one? What if I make the wrong choice? Mm, but the Seven of Cups also tells us to really, really check in with our intuition. If we feel through, you will know exactly which cup is right for us. And having these two together here, I feel like there's a lot going on, like your mind and your emotions being in a conflict in here. And based on your emotional baggage, probably your mind is telling you do this or don't do that, because these are the emotions that we felt in this situation. And mm, it brings a state of confusion. And seven of cups is also like rather cloudy and confused energy. See so many clouds here. It's also a time where people end up maybe taking too much drugs and different states of consciousness and stuff like that. So beware of that. Beware this period, like with this whole inner conflict, this escapism that comes through, want to just check out and not be present for this battle that keeps going on inside ourselves and sometimes with other people as well. And we have the Page of Cups and the World as your current energy. The Page of Cups is your subconscious. Yeah, this is in an emotional issue that shows up. Your mind is just trying to protect you. So it's trying to, whenever you heart desire something, or you feel like, you've been carrying certain kind of emotions and you don't really know how to cope with that, your subconscious here makes contact with you and maybe tries to talk to you from your dreams, or you start like making certain connections in your mind that maybe you didn't do before. I know a song starts coming into your mind from very long time ago, but you don't even remember where you heard it. Something that just goes on repeat, or words, or things like this that don't necessarily make so much sense, but it's there and they require your attention. And you see the water behind here is not exactly calm. There's a lot going on. The pages are agents of transformation. So you're going through a certain emotional transformation here, which is good. You need this. The world also shows that it's an end of a cycle. You finally start understanding something deeply about the emotions you've been carrying, and maybe something that's coming from your subconscious that's been locked in there for a long time. So altogether, it's good. You understand a lot. You're graduating from something in particular. Connecting deeper with parts of yourself. um yeah, you're coming full circle here with this whole emotional baggage there, and I think that you're ready to let go, because you're starting to understand what the subconscious has been holding for you and what needs to come out now and be completely let go. Okay, so it seems to be challenging though for you to let go of all this stuff right now and go through this full circle, because the star comes as your challenge position, right? It's not your advice or your focus. And seems to be like, yeah, star talks about hope, the star talks about the healing. It comes after the destruction of the tower. It's like bringing light and feeling guided and connected to the universe and so on. But you maybe feel not that connected right now and feel a lot of fear around going in this space of healing, because you're afraid that you will have to feel. And yes, you may have to feel. Is what your mind keeps trying to protect you here. Like, why this whole inner conflict? It's like, okay, let's not do this again. We've done this before and it took us to hell and back, and we don't want to do that again. We don't want to feel that way. And you know that if you want to heal, you have to allow yourself to feel, and that's a little bit scary. And yeah, well, the themes that are going on for you here are quite intense. Now we're talking about like your legacy and what you live going to leave behind you. You're talking about like your spiritual cycle and how you've been like interacting to with the spirit realm. Sorry about that. Seems like people are on quite high spirits around here. um, yeah, and also like the things that you've been carrying that are, it's time to let go of. Again, it's a heavy message of letting go of emotional baggage. But with the 10 of Pentacles, it's also like the spiritual challenges that you've taken upon yourself to do. It's an end of a cycle. Tens are all ends of cycles. So you're finally letting go of or you're called to let go, and you have difficulties to let go now of the legacy that you've been it was passed on to you in certain ways. Like we get passed on from our ancestors a lot of good stuff, and got a lot of very important information from goes through our code and DNA programming. But there's also a lot of obsolete information that doesn't serve us anymore. It's not really actual, and it may be challenging right now. Sorry, the hell is going on there? Okay, it may be challenging right now for you to separate them and bring healing to that. It's probably healing some sort of family karma as well, and also to drop this load that's not yours. To like the moment you drop it, that's when the healing actually takes place. But you need to first be aware what's extra, what's not yours to carry, and stop identifying with it. And that's why death is here. Death is here because you need this transformation. Death is here because in order to drop this load, you need to really identify what's not yours. Go and look into this whole family tree of yours, and see what has been passed to you that does not serve you anymore. It can be survival traits and mechanisms from I don't know, from 3 generations ago, when maybe people were going through starvation, or maybe people were going through mass I don't know, migration. Depends where your family is from and what's it been through, or extermination or war of some sort. And we carry this trauma, we carry this conditioning. Nature is helping us adapt, so we carry all the information in our DNA. And sometimes our bodies act in weird ways based on that information, and our tendencies tend to be maybe okay. People that maybe a few generations ago had gone through a serious famine now may have the tendency to overeat, or not necessarily to overeat, but even like the fat stays in the body more. It has the body has a tendency to store more energy because it's been through, the ancestor had been through that very particular danger. So it's a sort of protection mechanism, survival skill. Again, this is just an example. It doesn't need to be that. It can be much more subtle than this. It can be on a completely different realms, but it is important to look at what you've been carrying for your family. Maybe there's been disease of some sort. Maybe there's been like hereditary stuff. Maybe there's been, it can be anything really. Your focus, besides the whole Sagittarius thing, which could, as I said, be a Sagittarius in your life that seems to have you focused on them, can be romantically or not, doesn't matter. Or it matters for you, of course, but the point is that in this reading, it's not necessarily romantic. The Eight of Wands talks about like a super fast moving energy. When you start like, this is your challenge, this is your focus. Probably you're focusing on fast change. You're focusing on something that, like, fun, adventure. Maybe you're also trying to keep yourself busy from to stay away from this rather painful healing that you're actually going through. So you're looking for fun, you're looking for adventure, you're looking for something to keep you engaged and distracted. And also you're probably looking for you're looking at very fast moving energy, changes, fast communication. With the temperance here is also saying that you're also looking at how to work with this. I mean, like the knights are agents of transformation, right? Like one to talk about the spiritual realm, and here we have this angel with the fire on their heart, on his her heart, pouring water from a cup to another. Who's like, temperance is about. It's like the alchemist is transforming the energy from a more scientific approach, not necessarily as raw and as forcible as death does. Temperance is like experimenting with it. Okay, so I'm going a little bit this way and I'm doing a little bit of that, and let's see how that's gonna work out. Okay, I still have the discernment, and I know that I'm working in order to find the middle path for myself, something that's like not into the extreme. So if I distract myself too much, if I go for the exhilaration, for the fun, for this, it may be needed for a little bit, but not too much of it. The moment I do it too much, then I go in places where I can't follow. I mean, like, it's just gonna be detrimental rather than helpful. But yeah, sometimes we lock ourselves too much into meditation and inner space, we can end up being isolated. So extremes in general aren't great, and when temperance here as your focus shows me that you're taking this into consideration. You're not blindly going into distracting yourself, hopefully. Your advice, though, it comes into, yes, meditation, baby. Go inside yourself, go into quietness. I know, understand the impulse to go out there, to have fun, to um, escapism. And this word came earlier quite strongly with this card as well. I understand the impulse because obviously there's a lot of pain going on in here, and there's a lot asked of you. These are big cards, the star and death, and these two tens coming through. I mean, like, it's scary, And also, even if it's a good thing to have this cycle ending, end of the world here, obviously a big cycle is ending. It's a little bit scary because we're going to the unknown. We're like, okay, yeah, I want these cycles to end, I don't want to repeat the story over and over and over again. And yet when we start another story, we're like, oh wait, I have no clue how to cope with this, I have no mechanisms for this, I have no survival skills in place for this particular situation, so I don't know how to deal with it. So we become really, really terrified. It's not just about like feeling the healing, the pain that we feel as we heal, but it's also like, okay, so there's something completely blank and new. Where do I go from here? And sometimes we go into this like night of one's energy and like, go experience this, experience that, try this, try that. But it can also be um seems that it's necessary for you to spend a lot of time inside. So you can have that focus, and instead of like taking it outwards, putting it inwards, and give yourself the space for this healing to happen. I know it's hard, I know, trust me, I know, I've been there quite a few times, and I feel for you. um But because you feel so strongly about this, because it's so difficult for you to do this now, is the moment to do it. Because when we really reach a point of real healing, when we really reach that point of, okay, this pattern's ending, and my it's like in the hero's journey. We have all these stages of the hero's journey, and then towards the end, after the shadow presents itself, and then there's the battle, and then the hero wins or almost wins, helped by the allies and this and that. But then towards the end, when you think it's ended, well, the shadow comes back all the time, being a character like in a movie or in a book. There's always that moment where you think that the hero won, but the shadow just comes back stronger than ever, and there's the last struggle. That's how this feels like right now, is that last struggle. And if you give yourself the space, and if you give yourself the like the dedicated time, the Eight of Pentacles talks about like really consistent work, repetitive work, putting in the time, this person here stays and is perfecting his craft, and takes as long as it takes to do one of these. He's not just like trying to do twice as many and does it faster. No, it's about quality. It's about really, really investing. And this person does this with joy. This is a very meditative practice. Like monks go and sweep the temple grounds each and every day at the same hour, with that repetitive work. It doesn't matter. It can happen, whatever can happen. I'll do my stuff. And in this case, can be a meditation practice, or I don't know, something that gives you this space to go within, to connect to your feminine energy, to connect to your emotional side. This is a 2, so it talks about emotion. You've got this. You can definitely do this, source. You have the discipline, you have the knowledge, you have the understanding, and you are in that time in your life where this is really, really necessary for you, and it will really bring you where you need to go. And where you need to go is to have some focus. See how this, in the High Priestess, as well as in the chair, you have this black and white. And the left side is the black, which is supposed to be the feminine, the yin energy. The right side is the white, which is the masculine, the yang energy. When you're focusing on the inside, where you're focusing on the inner wisdom that you learn from just spending time with yourself, and putting on the work, to hold space for yourself, you get to know both sides of yourself, both sides of this conflict, and you get to befriend them, and you get to tame them, and you will be able to really drive this chariot where you want to go, because these two will serve you. They won't get like fighting each other anymore, because you will bring peace by bringing awareness, loving awareness. And this is where you want to go right now. You want to destroy the foundations that were just given to you. You've been probably locked in this tower for a long time. It's a tower of like your ivory tower, and it doesn't necessarily need to be ivory, but like where you've been isolated, where you've been. I'm thinking about Shrek, or I'm thinking about that the stories of the princess held in a high tower, and she was like supposed to wait for her savior, and so on and so on and so on. No, baby, you've got this. You go by yourself. You get out there, and you you live your life as you want. You're not waiting for anyone to save you here. So you want to go in here by going into this space of healing, by going back and seeing like what's been given to you that's not yours to carry, and by allowing yourself to transform all this energy and allow these parts of you that you've been identifying as yourself but isn't really you to die off. You're finally like destroying this foundation of whatever it is that hold you back from moving on with your life to the next cycle, the next level, the next stage. It's really beautiful. And this is one of the best tower moments that I see in this spread. It's a very wanted tower, unexpected. Okay. Beyond death, life. Well, this is quite clear to me. Allow this death, baby. It's something that you it's not as hard as you think. It's not as bad as you think. It's go into this peacefully with your awareness, with your eyes wide open. Because there's a new life waiting for you after this moment. And it's a life that is worth living. It's really worth living. Okay. I really hope this makes sense to you, and please hang in there. It doesn't seem to be an easy month, but it's a very, very good month for you, for your overall growth. So yes, if you resonate, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you here soon.